Okay, good evening and welcome to our weekly walk down the world of mainstream media and all their fakery. It's pretty much the only time of the week where I allow myself to take a look at what's going on in the news, due to the fact that I don't believe a word of it, and I absolutely appreciate you guys holding my hand for that walk, because if you take it too seriously, it would be a very scary place. If you believe a word they say, then yeah, you'd be absolutely terrified most of the time. Fortunately, I don't, and I'm glad to say that many of the you guys who tune in seem to agree with me. So thanks ever so thanks for being here tonight. And if anyone wants to say hi in the live chat, it's always appreciated. I'd say hello to Mudlark, KG, Sunstar, Thunder Lightning, all for saying hello in the live chat. It's very much appreciated. If you've got a keyboard nearby and you're in a position to say hello, it's always good to know you're tuning in. If not, hey, don't worry. I would also like to thank my supporter over on Patreon, Linda Mack. Thanks for your continued support. If anyone wants to check my work out over there, you do get to see videos a little bit early and get to see some other things that I don't really put anywhere else. So like old logos, maybe old banners that I used for things. Yeah, Patreon's the place. Another way you can support this channel is by hitting the thumbs up button, sharing it over on social media, and subscribing if you're not already. As I said earlier, I do believe by people sharing my content over on sites like Twitter and whatnot, then it's pretty much the only way my videos seem to get discovered, because I don't think I make it onto many recommended lists on YouTube. Maybe I do, perhaps I'm wrong. But yeah, that's always appreciated. Yeah, in the pre-show we watched my video about Archie. So I would say my views on the Royals have altered these days. I no longer, back then I said, they'll go along with any lie to keep up their way of life. I now believe that the Royals, whether or not they're, assuming they're not a bunch of actors, they're just as big a bunch of puppets as any other celebrity in the mainstream. Maybe they do live a life of luxury, who knows, but they have to go along with they have to sell their soul 1,000,000 times over. However, that video we watched in the pre-show was interrupted by one of my many cats, and I doubt that will be the last time this video will get interrupted by a cat tonight, even though we are only going on till probably 11ish. Yeah, KG was telling us about her cat who got banned from the basement, jumped on the wall unit with a glass item, could have hurt himself, he is spoiled and won't last long. Yeah, they are. Yeah, we've got 3 kittens. In fact, we're going to do a short, I'll tell you what, we'll start with a short catch up. I am considering either moving it to the pre-show or stopping catch up, because it was all about Mr. White originally, but Mr. White no longer visits us, unfortunately, anymore. We do get Splodge coming over now. He's very regular. Unfortunately, yeah, yesterday morning, Saturday, he didn't want to eat anything. He seemed a bit unwell. We didn't see him for the whole day, which is very unusual. I'll show you a picture of Splodge, actually. Let me get my screen up. Right, where's our Splodge? Hang on. Yeah, I predict, based on just, yeah, he is quite an elderly cat, and from what it seems, unless he's got a home that he's not telling us about, he seems to live in someone's garage, or it's not a proper garage, it hasn't got a door, but it's a parking space underneath a coach house, underneath a flat, and he's, from what we can tell, he lives there, but he normally comes to us at least 4 or 5 times a day if we're in. And yesterday came once, didn't eat anything, and then fortunately came back this morning, had a bit, but we haven't seen him again since. So either someone else is feeding him, or he's not feeling very well. As we scroll through, these aren't new pictures, you would have seen these last week. This is Peach, the mother of the kittens, who, she belongs to a neighbour. We did find out actually, because one of her owners, basically it's a family that own her, one of the kids knocked on our door a couple of weeks back asking to see Peach, as they call her something else, and he told us apparently she's 7 years old, which really surprised me. I thought she was barely a kitten herself. And apparently she's never been to a vet. I know pets don't like that word. So she's unregistered, and they said we can have her if we want. Of course, we'd rather hear that from his parents, but they don't seem too fussed about getting him back. This is our lovely Tom. He is sat on the table with me now. I think he's wanting my attention, but I've told him he just has to wait an hour. Right. Here's the kittens. Yeah, again, you saw this last week. The recent pictures. This one is the lovely Melba, we call her, based on the mum being called Peach. These are now 8 weeks old, which is supposedly the age where they're old enough to be rehomed. I don't think we're going to rehome them. Here's Charlie, and this is the lovely Jerry. He's actually a bit of a nightmare. They're all doing well, except they seem to get gunky eyes. I mean, I know cats get that anyway. Our tabby cat, Tom, he occasionally gets runny eyes, but whether it's just because they're kittens or what, I don't know, but they seem to get a lot of crap around their eyes, just like their mother does. Some say it could be, what's that thing they call it? Not glaucoma, I don't know. Yeah, could be a condition. It's cleared up on 2 of them now. It's just Jerry that seems to get it quite bad. Right, yeah, of course, here are kittens. You know that phrase they say, when God gives you lemons, you make lemonades? Well, when God gives you kittens, you make kitten pictures, of course. So that is catch up for this week. We will be going on to another subject. Actually, speaking of when God gives you cats, you make cat pictures, I have come up with I don't know if you'd call it a meme, but anytime I hear an absolute crazy story, I think I'm going to try, if I remember, to flash this picture up. Are you crazy? This is the lovely Jerry. Oh, didn't want to do that. Yeah, this is a meme. I caught him yawning, and I just thought he looks pretty crazy. So, that could come in one day. Right, I will have a quick look at the live chat before we move on to our first subject. As I said, we've got a few subjects to cover this evening. Where can I see the live chat? Here we go. Sunstar Thunderlight says, I cannot join you tonight. I have a busy day tomorrow. See you next week. Wishing you a happy, informative evening. Thank you, Sunstar, no problem. I appreciate you tuning in, and yeah, of course, you can always watch this video in your own time. David, greetings, welcome to the live chat. You say you're doubting the Halloween crush in Korea. I haven't heard of that one actually, so again, that's something we can have a look at tonight. At Halloween, what a horrific time, eh? It's basically a time where people are encouraged to celebrate witchcraft, encourage demonic possession, and yeah, of course, when I was a kid, I went round knocking on people's doors dressed in a Halloween mask. But yeah, if youth is wasted on the young, if I knew then what I know now, I wouldn't have touched it. Right, okay, yeah, as suggested by David, we'll have a look at the Halloween crush in Korea. Before we do, I see Mudlark says about Rishi Sunak, who features on the cover, suggesting he has a very strong resemblance to Prince Charles. I know where you're coming from. In fact, I'll show you someone he does drastically remind me of. Let me just bring our Oh, I think the cat's going to want to go out any minute. Let me just check our audio plays back all right. Yep, sounds okay. I hope the music playing in the background isn't too distracting. In fact, I think we'll lose that for the moment. Okay, Rishi, let's compare him to Charles. We will get a comparison going on that one. We'll bring up our web browser. Yeah, cat wants to go out. 1 second. Hang on. Come on, man. Okay, 1 down, 3 to go. Well, we've got, including Splodge, who doesn't really come in much, we've got 6 cats, so there's one of them gone out. Right, Rishi Sunak. Could he be Prince? Could he be related in any way to Prince Charles? Possibly. I mean, I doubt the babies we're presented of, like particularly from Meghan and Harry, I'm massively suspicious of. I'm also massively suspicious of Kate and William's children, which then would lead me to believe, well, particularly Princess Diana. No way did Princess Diana give birth, okay? In my opinion. By the way, just for future reference, he's 5'7", Rishi. Not that they necessarily have to be honest about that. Right. Rishi Sunak and King Charles, of course, now. Yeah, I know Mudlark earlier in the week, as a comment to one of my videos, mentioned how a coincidence they both got into power around the same time. Have they ever met each other, I wonder? Oh, images I wanted, not video. Oh, there we go. Right, this... Oh, goodness sakes. Sorry, you'll have to bear with me a minute. Yeah, what do you reckon? Masonic handshake by any chance? I would also like to... I mean, by the way, is this guy actually Prime Minister now? I know they didn't bother with a leadership vote, did they? When I look at this guy, all I see is weird ears, which makes me very suspicious. Are they legit ears? Who knows? Perhaps I just want to take one for my scrapbook about celebrities and their ears, just for future reference. Yeah, do I believe this could be King Charles's son? Maybe. But those teeth look false to me. The ears look... I mean, people have big ears, of course they do. And big, yeah. Whether that's by design, deliberate, they want this guy having these memorable features so that when they if they need a lookalike to suddenly take over the role very quickly, all they have to do is make sure they've got a person roughly the same right height, give them the wig, put the ears on, put the nose on, and the fake teeth, and that's all people really notice about this guy. Of course, Rishi did admit to a couple of school kids that he's a coke addict, before quickly correcting himself, saying Coca-Cola addict. Wouldn't surprise me. I'll tell you who Rishi... We'll have a look at young Prince Charles, actually, next. And then after this, we'll look at this crushing career. Prince Charles, let's say 1980s. Yeah, and then I'll show you who he reminds me of. This being Rishi Sunak. Unfortunately, right, surely we can get a better picture than that. Yeah, he's got the same hair, definitely. I mean, like the same hairstyle. Not the best image. Hang on. Let's see. So yeah, here's Rishi. Here's Charles. Yeah, I can see where you're coming from. They've got the same... Would you call that a flat forehead? I would, I think. Bump on the nose. Again, yeah, relatively flat forehead. He hasn't so much got the bump. Different teeth, of course. But I don't believe they're his real teeth. Who knows? But yeah, again, I'll tell you who this guy is. Does anyone remember the... who he drastically reminds me of. Does anyone remember the sitcom Seinfeld? Cast? And I'll bring up just who they remind me of. Hang on. This one. Liz Sheridan played the mother of Seinfeld, and come on, the likeness is uncanny. Surely they've got the same. Perhaps we can find a better image of Rishi Sunak than that. But yeah, while I do agree, they look very much like... certainly looks a lot like Prince Charles or King Charles. He also looks like this person. I don't know if you can see it. Just the same big pointy nose, flat forehead, kind of quite a large mouth. Yeah, that was just an observation I wanted to make. But yeah, thank you for sharing that. What do we think? This guy's going to be good for us? Is he going to put us first? Nah, don't think so. He'll put those contributing to the government. I think they'll be his... apparently the guy's like, a multi-millionaire or something, which isn't unusual, of course, for prime ministers. I wonder how he made his money. Pharmaceutical industry, perhaps? We could take a look at that one day. Let's see. David says the crush happened because there weren't enough police present. Oh, of course, you always need more police. Mudlight's saying... Oh, hang on, let me keep up. The media said that he'll be crowned Prime Minister. Since when has a PM been crowned? Yeah, very true. Generally, well, I would say generally they get elected in, but actually no. If you think of the prime ministers we've had who weren't elected in, Gordon Brown came in. Well, I could even go back to John Major. He replaced Margaret Thatcher, but then of course did get voted in. Then Tony Blair was replaced by Gordon Brown, who wasn't voted in. David Cameron was replaced by... I can't even remember now, that woman who looked like a weird sort of Margaret Thatcher, Theresa May. Then Boris Johnson was voted in and got replaced by first Liz Truss, and now Britain's first Asian Prime Minister. So actually, yeah, not all Prime Ministers get voted in. A lot of them just get handed the job. I do remember there being a very weird thing going back to Gordon Brown, almost like it was planned out, it was set up that he had to replace David Cameron. Who knows? Who knows? Right. My phone's... Mudlight says, I didn't have any trick-or-treating the last 2 years because of bull spit. Yeah, same here. I was actually saying that earlier, that they haven't done it for the last couple of years, but of course they're going to have it. Yeah, it's tomorrow. I'm guessing they're all going to be back. Mudlight says men usually have sloping foreheads. Yeah, unless it seems to be, unless they're in positions of power. Who's another? Well, actually, let's look at Tony Blair, for example. How sloping is his forehead, I wonder? Okay, doesn't actually look that bad, I guess. He's not on par with, like, Prince Charles. I'm sorry, Prince Harry. But again, okay. Yeah, I do quite often see people, and it's almost like they've blatantly had an implant put in their forehead to give them there. He looks very flat foreheaded there. No brow ridge whatsoever going on. And again, Prince Harry. Let's take a look at him. You could literally, what? You could balance a what? Yeah, you could balance a ruler. Well, you could balance a ruler over most people's foreheads. Yeah, this guy's forehead is ridiculous. It's the furthest thing from, it's just insane. Of course, everyone has eye sockets where where there's a gap in the skull, but yeah, it's not supposed to go straight up like that. Somewhat weird about that guy, no doubt. Okay. Mudlark says Tony Blair looks like the devil. Yeah, he does have a very evil look about him. I completely agree. And it turns out, yeah, if you look at the amount of... Right, assuming Tony Blair actually had any say in the war in Iraq, for example, of course he's blamed... if he really did have any say in that, then yeah, he sent a lot of people... He caused a lot of people's deaths, so... Yeah, calling him a devil isn't far off the mark. And KG says if elections mattered, they wouldn't let us do it. Yes, true. I mean, they may... I mean, do you think they actually... There's two schools of thought. Two schools of thought. Either all votes are rigged, so no matter how many people vote one way or another, they're just going to say, well, this happened to be the result anyway. Like it or lump it. I mean, who's going to actually go and count all those ballot papers? So, alternatively, people are brainwashed to vote a particular way. I mean, the mainstream media has so much control over people's thought process that if they want to make, say, Meghan Markle really popular or really unpopular, they'll do that. If they want to make Harry really popular or unpopular, they can do it. If they want the Conservative parties to be seen as, God's gift to humanity, they can do it. So, yeah, while I agree the outcome of pretty much all elections probably are rigged, is it just down to the fact that people are conditioned to vote a particular way? Or do they not trust that, so therefore rig the outcomes? Right. Yeah, I did, Craze, greetings, welcome to the live chat, good to see ya. Yeah, I know you go also by the name Some Girls. Yeah, agreed, Prince Harry is a ridiculously bizarre looking human being. Same as, have we still got an image of Rishi up? Is that Rishi? No, that's the person off Seinfeld, sorry. Do you know what? I could do so much about Seinfeld. And yeah, I do my act short videos where I believe there's an actor shortage and they just keep reusing the same people. There are so many crossovers between the person, Jerry Seinfeld. We're gonna look at the crush in Korea in a minute. Yeah, I know I've covered this before. The Seinfeld Seinfeld was about a stand-up comedian who was trying to get a sitcom. The story of, I'm not sure if you've ever seen these American sitcoms. I've covered this before, so I won't go on about it for too long. But if you've ever seen Everybody Loves Raymond, it's been shown every morning in Britain for like the last 20 odd years. The premise, the real life situation is supposed to be that Ray Romano is a real life stand-up comedian who got a sitcom about his life. Seinfeld was a story of a stand-up comedian trying to get a sitcom based on his real life. Seinfeld finished in 96 or 97. Everybody Loves Raymond started in 96. Like, there was a crossover, and the cast look identical. Yeah, I've done videos on this in the past, so I'm not going to spend too much time. Although I did see a clip of... I'm going to leave this for another time. Perhaps I'll do it for a pre-recorded video. Mudlark, you don't bother voting? No, last time I voted was in... It was the year Russell Brand was out telling everyone, vote, don't vote, and then suddenly said vote Labour. I remember I voted Green Party that year. I think it was probably, was it 2012 or general election? I know the Tories ended up getting in. I think that would have been, 2012, 2014, something like that. Yeah, it was the last time I voted in a general election. And, I wouldn't waste my time anymore. David says, how's Blair's son worth all that money? I'm not actually sure how much money Tony Blair's son is worth. I don't actually know who Tony Blair's son is. Unless you're referring to Rishi, of course. Yeah, apparently he is loaded. Oh no, sorry, that was Prince Charles' son, right. Let's see. Am I right in thinking that... Oh, Ewan. Right, Tony Blair's son Ewan is rapidly heading towards billionaire status after the tech business he started just 6 years ago was valued at 1.7 billion. Wow. I wonder what his tech company does. And I'm sure the fact that his father helped take part in a war that must have made billions for the arms industry. I'm sure that's got nothing to do with it, hey. Right, we're going to have a look at the crushing career in a minute. Here's the story about Tony Blair's son, Ewan. They've got their numbers in there, haven't they? 73 and 37. 37-year-old Ewan is worth 73 million. I think that's... is that a coincidence? I doubt it very much. He's worth 73 million more than his father, right. So he's not just worth 70... That's how much more dosh he's got than his dad. Wow. Obscene. Really, isn't it? I'm pretty sure they went through a trend of having prime ministers lose children when they were in power. I know... I'm pretty... Well, I know it happened to David Cameron, but I can't remember whether it happened to any of the... to someone else. Wow. I've just seen a picture of the drag queen, Helen Flanagan. This is someone I've called out in a video before as being a trans. And I'm standing by it. A lot of people... I mean, she's like... so blatant in my book. Shoulders way wider than the hips, of course. Massive jaw. Massive sloping forehead. And just huge brow ridge. Tranny all the way. But she supposedly had children with a footballer. We've looked at her in the past. Yeah, what a freak show. I can see... Oh my goodness. Kittens are going crazy in the other room. Hopefully I won't have to go and check on them anytime. Right, Mudlark says, just turn up to the voting booth 10 minutes before they close. If they say you're too late to vote, you can claim compensation money. I never knew that, Mudlark. Crafty. How much compensation do you get for not being allowed to vote, out of interest? You think Gordon Brown's wife had a stillborn? Yep, I think you're correct. And did something happen with Boris Johnson. I know he had a child, but I wonder if he might have... Maybe I'm thinking of someone else. Also, I think one of them had a disabled child. Maybe that was maybe that was David Cameron, who had a disabled child who passed away or something. I could be wrong. Right, let's get this vile thing off the screen. For some reason, I was just curious in that story, because yeah, it's the fake child all the way. This person, they made videos about like while they were jumping up and down whilst pregnant. The footballer, as it happens, comes from Bath, somewhere I grew up, and I know people who know his family. So as far as I know, yeah, the footballer's a legit guy, but he's married a tranny, which is crazy. Do you dress up for Halloween this year? Don't know, don't care. Right, we're losing the sun. Okay, Korea, a crush. Let's see if it's got any hallmarks. I'll go to Korea News and see what they're telling us. Well, I'd like to get £100. Okay, good to know. Right, South Korea Stampede live updates. Eyewitness described the actual horror of the crowd crush. Interesting. No, I'm not familiar with this one. It looks like it's being covered by every single media outlet. Yeah, USA Today, Sky, Daily Mail, The Independent, the Yahoo, CBS. It looks like even Standard. Yeah, right. One thing we often I like to look at is who owns the images that they show. We're looking for PA, Press Association. They seem to own all the images that get used in these like high profile stories, whether they go out literally trying to buy disaster stories or perhaps they just create them themselves, who knows. Right, at least 153 people have been killed after a stampede. 153, okay. In South Korea, capital of Seoul, according to the emergency officials. First US victim has been identified as University of Kentucky student. They've already identified someone. Have they made that name public? Surely not. Yeah, let's see if they meant, if they get in every single country. Right, we'll maybe have a look at the video in a minute. Eyewitness describes the actual horror. I expect it will be in that video, won't it? It became an actual horror. Is that an admission? An actual horror? Well, what you suggest? Okay. Oh, I see what they're saying. We were out pretending that we were celebrating horror films, and then it became an actual horror. Okay, I just want to make sure you're going to be able to hear the audio. See if she can see how convincing this one is. Bear with. I'm going to mute myself for a second while we play this.
How busy was it in this area last night?
Oh, yeah. So Itaewon is famous for...
Sorry, 1 second. I just want to make sure that the audio is playing back and you can hear
crowds,
it okay. Bear with me.
It's not unusual, but this was next level. Shoulder to shoulder, front to back, just shimmying along on those...
Sorry, yeah. We can hear it. Okay. I'll keep my microphone on, actually. How long's the video? 1:42.
So Itaewon is famous for its crowds, and it's not unusual, but this was next level. Shoulder to shoulder, front to back, just shimmying along on those streets. Oh, no control about where you're going to move at times, based on where the crowd pushes you.
And did you hear some of the desperation in people's voices?
There was a mix of things I heard, but there was panic coming towards us, some shouts of fear, but also confusion. We didn't know really what was happening to us or in that moment. We didn't have any knowledge, but there was a lot of panic and confusion, I think, are the main things that we felt in that moment.
And you were actually at the top of that alleyway, slightly to the left, so you were able to shelter. So many, though,
yes,
not.
So many unable to, which is why I understand now the stampede that...
As always, the journalist is feeding, actually telling the witness what they saw. Always seems to happen. Like, just in case. She doesn't look to me like she's reading a script. Perhaps she is. Perhaps she is looking at a screen. I don't know. Sounds very comfortable talking to the camera. This is clearly someone that isn't at all shy about being interviewed on the news or isn't at all thrown by it. Yeah. I mean, think about it. When you talk, how many times you have to think about what you're going to say? Not this woman. She's just, like, her rhythm of talking is very almost... Perhaps she's done this interview 100 times already, so by now she knows what to say. I just think it's interesting that the journalist is feeding, or the interviewer is feeding her lines, telling her what, and then she confirms that.
And you were actually at the top of that alleyway.
So you were at the top of the alleyway. Well, why isn't she telling you that? Why are you telling her anyway?
Slightly to the left, so you were able to shelter.
Yeah.
So many, though. Not.
So many unable to, which is why I understand.
See, how does the reporter know that so many people were not able to shelter? And in a stampede, what does a shelter even... who cares if you're sheltering?
And now the stampede that came towards me, they were probably running in fear to get away from what they saw. Otherwise, they would have been trapped very easily with the pushing of the crowds. People still moving up towards it, not knowing what happened. And us just being shoved along, trying to find a place to get out of the crowd and standing there wondering what's going on. It's a rare moment for me in general to go out as well. So we just wanted to feel that fun and freedom of Halloween 2022, finally less restrictions. It really was just meant to be fun.
If only she'd stayed at home living in fear, she wouldn't have died. I think that's kind of the message they want us to get from this woman. Oh no, we didn't live by restrictions, and now 153 people have died because of it. They've got their number 32 in, as always. The 32-year-old became a front row witness to one of the most horrific disasters South Korea has seen. Some people have been administering CPR to injured people on the pavements. Yeah, you always get that. Remember, we did a hoax event checklist, and one of the things were that you will always see members of the public doing the job of the emergency service for them. But we haven't seen it yet, so we'll watch the video at the beginning. Yeah, thanks by the way, KG, for sharing this one about Seoul. I hadn't heard about it, so thank you. Mr. Fallas added that he and his friends were trapped among the huge throngs of people pushing towards the alley when the police officers began breaking the lines from behind to approach the injured. Okay. Oh, we got another eyewitness, and he actually looks a bit upset on this one. Do we want to watch it? We'll watch a bit of it, see how it comes across.
My friends like photobombing a lot.
Oh,
they just like to just...
We gotta watch a 30-minute advert. Hang on. Get this rubbish off. Okay, forget that. We'll go back to the original, the video at the start if we can. Sky News. Or should it be Line News?
In hotels, which isn't an ideal solution either. Lots of organisations that work with refugees have very...
This seems completely irrelevant. Okay, this is live Sky News. Nope, sorry, I made a mistake there. I wanted to see the parents desperately searching for their children. Okay, yeah, this has got all, well, I don't know. It's early to say, but immediately I'm suspicious because I believe very little you hear on the mainstream. I'm not sure if this is meant to be in a hospital or what's going on here. I called his number, but he wasn't answering. Oh, Reuters. They probably provided a lot of these images. I'm not sure if... One person broke down and kneeled on the floor after speaking to some officials at the centre. Is this someone who was involved? Okay. So lots of missing people, as you often get. Okay, unfortunately we haven't got time to look too closely at that because we do have a couple of other subjects we're going to look at. Oh, people were laughing during the crush. Yeah, this is something I'm going to look at throughout the week. Again, they mention bullshit 19 restrictions. We'll just read this little bit. A man who saw the Seoul Stampede unfold has described seeing people laughing as the tragedy began to unfold. As he watched a dozen or more unconscious partygoers carried out from a narrow back street, Ken Fallas said he was unable to process what was happening. The Costa Rican architect who has worked in Seoul for the past 8 years said Saturday's Halloween festivities in Itaewon were a long-awaited occasion following years of bullshit 19 restrictions. If only we'd keep those restrictions, eh? Okay. Yeah, a lot of young people laughing, and I don't think they were really laughing because, you know, what's funny? They were laughing because they were too scared, because to be in front of a thing like that is not easy. Okay, without seeing the guy interviewed, we wouldn't know if he's reading from a script, but who knows. Right, I'm going to go back to the live chat. David says, when has the media ever shown dead bodies lined up in the street covered up with just their legs showing? Have they done that in this one? Actually, I think they have done that in other... Yeah, you're right. You don't take pictures of people on these... Yeah, Associated Press told you. I knew it would be AP, Associated Press. They always seem to get hold of these pictures before anyone else. Whether it just so happens they're the ones producing them in the first place, I don't know. We will move on from this story shortly. Is this a video? Yeah, it is. Just taking a very long time to load, unfortunately. So bear with us. Yeah, we are... okay. That looks like a... Oh, is this the small alleyway where everyone tried to come out from? Why they blocked it off? Absolutely no blood, point that out. They've obviously cleaned up. Yeah, you don't just film people on gurneys. That's so inappropriate. Right, let's see if I can make this video full screen a minute. Of course, using things like dolls and dummies isn't out of the question, so we'll see, look out for that as well. Yeah, just take pictures. Someone on a hospital trolley. Why wouldn't you photograph such a thing? It's ridiculous. And then sell it to Associated Press. There they are. There's their name right there. They own all the copyrights to these images for some reason. Oh, yeah, more than 153 people were killed when they were trapped in the crush at the Halloween party. Crowd surged into a narrow alley. So it's all about this alleyway. The CCTV cameras, we can clearly see them. So I'm sure they'll release that soon once the Associated Press have bought the copyright to it. They've got an orange in. Of course, everyone loves a bit of orange. And they've got, I think someone's on this trolley. They've got someone strapped in this trolley. And rather than do anything with them, they're just going to stand and let the camera crew take photos of them. What great practice. Anything in these numbers? 998 looks like LI or U. Or 6763. They got 63 in. Who knows? If I was quicker at maths, 20s and 30s, again, 2s and 3s. If I was quicker at maths, I could work that out. 9, 18, that'd be 26. 32, 39, 45, 48. That works out too, I guess. So, oh, 49 because there's a 1 there.
Ichiran is famous for its crowds, and it's not unusual, but this was...
Someone in a banana suit. Of course. Oh, someone... I think all 3 of these people are in banana suits. Is that right? Wow. Insane.
Next level. Shoulder to shoulder. Front
All
to
seems
back.
very calm now, of
Shimmying
course.
along on those streets. Oh, no control about where you're going to move at times, based on where the crowd pushes you. There was a mix of things I heard, but there was...
Oh, hang on. We saw a 33 there. Double 9, which is a 6-6 upside down. 8-0, 13, and then double 3. So yeah, they've got in 33 as always. And also 9 and 11. 9, 11, 11, 9. Shout out, of course, to Russian Vids, who made me aware of the significance of 33 and 9/11. I believe he's doing a live stream later. Always recommend watching that guy's stuff. So, yeah. Anyway, back to this.
Heard, but there was panic coming towards us. Some...
Again, another 99. Upside down 66, maybe.
Shouts
On the
of
number
fear,
plate of that
but
police van.
also confusion. We didn't
And we've already
know
seen Janelle
what was
tell her
happening to
story.
us or in that moment. We just
Okay, we're gonna move. Oh, hang on. This video's got another minute yet.
feel that fun and freedom of Halloween.
Why are we not
2022,
hearing her?
Finally, less restrictions.
Perhaps Associated Press haven't
It
got the
really
copyright
was
for
just
that.
meant to be fun.
Good
And
bit of
dress up
advertisement there for Bronze
have a good
Lounge.
time, and it very quickly
And all the other shop
became
fronts that you see. Craft
became
hands,
actual horror.
dead man's fingers. Death count could rise as the injured are still in critical condition.
할로윈을 맞은 서울 한복판에서 일어난
Huh.
것은 안 될
They're not letting us hear some of this for some reason.
불의의 사고로 돌아가신 분들의 명복을 빌고
Can you believe we're getting around to 11 o'clock already and I still haven't... Okay, if we go much longer, I will need to do a quick intermission, so we'll see how it pans out. We've got the Joker in, of course. Okay. Right.
The point is getting to the point fast. The point
Oh,
is
what's going on
hearing the
there?
nation on your morning
That's an
commute.
advert.
The point is having couchside.
Okay, we will return to... Hey, another thing I said about the hoax event checklist, I'd have to find the video, actually. And we'll come up with it. And then we will move on to another... We'll either go to an intermission or we'll move on to another story. But how quickly have they released the details of the dead in this story? Right, hang on. Yeah, I'm just looking for a video and we'll quickly look at the hoax event checklist. Not the whole thing, but we'll see, because quite a lot of those should come up on this. My computer's saying it's feeling a bit tired, it needs a rest, but I'm going to keep it going for a bit. Right, does my video show up? Goodness me, it's on a go slow. Probably one of the kittens have chewed through the Ethernet cable. Okay, videos. I think my video's still going. I don't think they've taken it down. Ah, maybe they have actually. Okay, never mind. Right, just wait for this to load up. Right, while I'm waiting, I'll have a quick look at the live chat. Oh, Phil Wright. Oh, greetings to the live chat, Phil Wright. Phil, sorry, good to see you. Yeah, you think the Korea stampede was 100% fake? Well, they certainly have a lot of things, a lot of suspect things going on, such as the numbers. They always show up. And yeah, so I think we're in agreement on that. However, we will come back to it one day. Yeah, one of the things was how quickly they released the details of the dead, like, you know, ridiculously quickly. They always get the numbers in, of course, 33, 32, 66, etc. So maybe next week we'll come back and compare this story then, after the dust has settled a week later, and see how it compares to the hoax event checklist. So yeah, big thanks to KG for suggesting that. Phil Wright says Mag has had his channel taken down. He broke the story down. Okay, perhaps I shouldn't look too closely at it. Yeah, I know a lot of people have good things to say about Mag, and I did used to subscribe to his channel. But I wasn't... Yeah, I agreed with a lot of things he said, but not everything. But yeah, I'm sorry to hear his channel's gone. I'm pretty sure he's still going... Am I right thinking he's got a channel on, like, BitChute or something? Okay, we're going to go on to another subject. Actually, I'm going to go over to Twitter for this one. I mean, we can go back to that if anyone's particularly interested. Right, where's my profile? Yeah, I was massively shocked at something I saw, and I wanted to look at it closer tonight. I liked the video just so that I would be able to find it later on. I've noticed a lot of people are suggesting that, almost suggesting, what's that guy's name? Hang on. Elon Musk having bought Twitter like he's some sort of savior for free speech. He's going to be allowing, you know, he's not going to, Twitter's no longer going to be this place of ridiculous censorship left anymore. I'm guessing Vieira is the name of the person that used to be the head of Twitter. I'm not sure. But anyway, according to Elon, if you've ever seen Elon Musk's wife, then you'll realise how ridiculous this statement is. But someone trying to be funny. Women don't have penises. Don't say it. And Twitter doesn't have a Vieira, which I think's a reference to... I don't know. Anyway, yeah, this absolute mad video. Have
in a couple of ways. And I do think we've...
Oh, that's quite loud, actually, so I'll try and turn it down a bit. Hopefully it's not coming out too ridiculously loud your end. Yeah, I wasn't sure if this is real or someone's just cleverly edited it together.
Failed in a couple of ways, and I want to admit that.
This is not him, obviously. That woman, I believe, is the head of the person that runs Twitter, and this is Elon Musk, who's now supposedly bought it out. What's this all about? Hang on.
I do think we've failed in a couple of ways, and I want to admit that.
Failure comes with a big penalty. You're fired.
Why
don't we...
Did Elon Musk fire the head of Twitter on this complete clown? Oh, what's that guy's name? I can't even think of it now.
Yeah.
Him. The guy who said he would sell out his own grandmother in order to... Well, he'd lie to his own mother in order to find out about, UFO secrets. I can't think of his name now, but proper scumbag, not someone I would have it. And apparently on his show, Elon Musk fired the head of Twitter. That can't be right, can it?
Off.
Yeah. I do think we've...
And now they all sit around looking really awkward. So yeah, I was curious how realistic that is. I'm just going to see how the audio is on your end. Bear with me 1 second. Oh, KG, you're absolutely correct. Thank you. David brought up Korea, not yourself. Thanks ever so much for correcting that. Sorry, David. You're right. Definitely not an eyewitness. And yeah, thanks for clearing it up, KG. Phil says, just a production. CNN, CCN, CNN were already on the scene, all scripted. Yeah, they always have photographers and reporters on hand to do these interviews, no matter, it could happen in the most remote part in the world and there would be a film crew ready to capture it. Phil says 37 BAM 777 hoax on and long arms. Okay, so yeah, do we believe for 1 second Elon Musk is... Because all these comments are suggesting that he's like going to be all about free speech. And I didn't buy that for a second. Not a chance. I mean, by the way, that looks just like... that looks like, Keanu Reeves, but I think it's maybe Elon Musk. Me blessing your meme before I steal it, right? Yeah, weird stuff. Weird stuff. So yeah, I wanted to confirm that actually. I'm gonna have a look at that story. Elon Musk fires. Let's see what comes next. Elon Musk takes over Twitter, fires its CEO, and is set to reverse life bans. So he's going to be... Yeah, who do you think is going to have their bans overturned? I've actually not lost a channel, but I know plenty of people have. I bet it will be all the celebrities, all the big names like... what's his... David Icke, for example. I think he got shut down on Twitter, I'm not sure. Donald Trump, of course, a very famous person getting shut down. We'll see. But yeah, did he really do it on that awful program? Phil, who are we referring to not having any hips? Is that... Oh, that page is gone. Is that Elon Musk's partner? Because we'll have a look at that in a minute. COP27, isn't that something to do with climate change? Or who knows? Yeah, we've got a couple of things I want to look at tonight, which were already sort of ran out of time, so let me go back. Oh, Elon Musk fired at least 4 top Twitter executives after becoming Twitter's owner. The executives included Paraj, Chief Financial Officer Ned, top legal Vijaya Gaddy, and... Yeah, but did any of them actually take place? What's this about? 44 billion. What's that, the compensation agreements they all got, I wonder? Oh, that was that's how much he paid for it. Oh. Right. There were signs Musk had resigned himself to the purchase. He's promised to transform Twitter and has forecast large layoffs that may approach 75% of employees. He wrote to advertisers this week attempting to soothe any concerns saying they didn't want the platform to become a free-for-all hellscape. Oh, hang on, I need to hit the cough button. Yeah, for the sake of my own throat, I am going to need to not go on too long this evening. And I think I certainly need to get myself a drink if we're gonna do too much more. Therefore, I am just gonna do a quick intermission. I'm gonna put Bobby's Best Bits on for 5 minutes if you don't mind, and then we'll come back and we'll finish the stream. We will be finished probably around 11:30 tonight, maybe a little bit after. Before we do, hang on, let's just have a very quick look at Elon Musk partner. Because I bet they're not the most girlfriend then. They don't like partner. I know they kept... Yeah, what a freak show this person is. Oh, is that the name of him? Grimes? The Canadian singer. Yeah, this is the person I always remember. And I wonder if this is who Phil's referring to in the live chat. Really bizarre looking person. Again, one of those weird Air Brigade people. That's the picture we want. Hang on, I'm just going to take an image of this for when I release my scrapbook about weird-eared celebrities. Bear with me a second. Right. In fact, we'll get the whole face in. Okay. Right, yeah, bear with me then. I hope you don't mind me taking a quick 5-minute break. It might not even be as long as that. It might be less than 5 minutes. I'm gonna leave you with Bobby's best bits for a few minutes. Where are we? And yeah, thanks. Thank you for your patience. I'll be back in about 5 minutes. And before we do that, let me just say a big thank you to Phil Wright, KG, David, Mudlark, Craze, and Sunstar Thunder Lightning for taking part in the live chat tonight. If I've missed anyone, yeah, please leave a comment reminding me. My apologies. Thanks everyone who's taken the time to tune in, and I'll be back in a few minutes, okay? Here is Bobby's best bit. See you in about 3 or 4 minutes. Yeah, anyone who caught last week's stream will know we discussed Archie pretty heavily. I spent a bit of Thursday and a fair bit of Friday working on a video, just looking at the major points of the Archie story, or at least what we covered of it. There is so much more, it's unbelievable. The video I put up, I had to take down for one reason or another, because that is one subject that is going to get people riled up, obviously, naturally. Some young kid being on a life support, and then some other person just comes out of nowhere and starts saying, even questioning its existence. Do I actually know what the situation is? No. I'm looking at it with one pair of eyes. All I can go on is my experience, knowing how much mainstream media lies, how everything seems to be an advert for something. Will this story with Archie turn out just to be an advert? I don't trust what's being reported either one way or another. It doesn't go down well when you start questioning, well, any of these stories. I would say every story I've ever done, starting with the likes of The Lion of London, Roy Larner, I got a load of negative feedback from that, you could say. People threatening to track me down and stuff. They never did it, even when I told them what city I lived in. When I covered, who was that girl that claimed she got repeatedly gang raped at the hands of kidnappers in Africa? I can't remember her name. The story was a complete load of rubbish, as you can imagine. And it all ended up being just one big advert for a series of books that they released. What else? Obviously, calling out Ashley Kane and Safi Varanin, who are reporting that their child's dying of leukemia, and here's someone coming out suggesting they might be full of spit. It doesn't go down well with the people who these stories have emotionally touched, which of course they're going to because they're such emotive stories. How can you fail to react one way or another? Either absolute disgust that such a thing is being used to fill the airwaves, as it was, the mainstream are selling their news reporting off the misery and death of these people. When someone comes out and suggests that it might not be that way, it goes down like a sack of spuds, you could say. Not popular. Then, probably the biggest comeback I've ever got on a video, in terms of volume anyway, not in terms of vitriol, but in terms of the amount of people responding, was the ones I made about Jake Quickenden, whatever he's called, and his fake baby Leo. Convinced that baby's a fake from start to finish. Lovers of Jack Quickenden, or bots, whatever you want to call it, they flooded the comments section on my videos pointing out how wrong I was. None of them could offer anything more than anecdotal evidence. Here I was sharing information from specialists on baby care who were clearly saying babies are not able to hold their heads up until 3 to 4 weeks. Sorry, that's just when they get enough muscle control to start moving their head. To actually hold it up, they reckon it's something like 2 to 3 months. Anyway, here was these babies after a matter of 10 days, 20 days, being able to crawl up people's chests and whatnot. It's absolutely crazy. Didn't go down well calling that one out either. The one which probably people were most in agreement with was obviously Harry and Meghan. I know I picked up a lot of subscribers from putting those videos out. Well, I got a lot of people accusing me of doing the video because Meghan is black, as they would say. I don't believe she's black, really. Probably a Caucasian male. What do the police call it? IC1 male or something? I've heard it said in these police programs where they radio in to report whoever the mischief maker is, and if they're a white male they call them an IC1 or something. KG says my neighbours are very nice but they believe everything on the television. Yeah, unfortunately KG, I also am surrounded by people that accept every word they see, to the point where they will absolutely let it dominate their lives. Hey Mudlark, I hope you can hear me alright, let me know. I assume I've got everything. Okay, I didn't mute my microphone, how embarrassing. Right, we're back. Thank you for your patience. I'm not going to go on for too long or the cats will literally start demolishing the place because they're getting impatient now. Also, my throat will start packing up. So, let's go back to here. KG's asked what we think of Harry's book, and I pointed out Some Girls, who was in the live chat earlier under the name of Craze, has made a few videos on that one, so perhaps we'll have a look. And then, yeah, talking about unpopular, you know, making these videos not being popular, I'm gonna show you an example of that in a minute. I'm going to address some comments that I've received on both YouTube, on my other channel, just two actually, Chronicles of the Unconvinced, and the other one being over on Instagram. Right, if I go to my subscriptions, we should be able to find it once my computer loads up. Yeah, just want to point out the videos that have been made about Harry's book and where you can find it. But yeah, my opinion, it's all going to be, bear in mind, everything, no way has Harry written his own book. The guy seems probably like he's incapable of even writing his own name, so yeah, personally I doubt very much he's an author. So it's all just going to be everything you would expect it to be. Where are we? Some Girls. I assume it's on this channel and not on the Girls Some. Oh, it doesn't have any content. Must be on the other one then. Unless it is over under Craze. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like Some Girls taking a channels down. Taking the videos down, probably due to strikes and whatnot. But I'm certain they made... Okay, must be girls some. Where are we? There we go. Yeah, there we go. Here is some of the vids. In fact, I'll share a link to this channel. If you're not already subscribed, then I certainly recommend it. She does a lot of stuff on Meghan and Harry. Far more than I can bring myself to do. Let me just check my audio is working a second. Yes, should be. Right. I'll share a link to this channel. Yeah, and then we're going to look at these comments, and then I'm going to have to call it a night, I think. Okay. Link to girls some. I'll also put a link to this channel in the description if you're watching this video afterwards. I Am a Woman by Harry. Yeah, some good stuff over there. I recommend it. Right, speaking of comments, channels, videos, let's go over to my second channel, Chronicles of the Unconvinced. Again, a link is in the description if you're not already subscribed to my second channel. At the moment, I'm generally taking segments of this, of my live streams, and uploading them as edited pieces. This is one I did a couple of weeks ago about Lucy Letby, sorry. I'll try and pause it before it starts playing. In fact, we could play it, and I'll put subtitles on with no audio. How does that sound? So then you can see what's being said, or can you actually? No, maybe not. Okay, I'll just load up. Where are we? Yeah, Paul Burbeck. Let me just check that's not actually playing. No, it isn't. Also, YouTube Dumpster Firefighter said, I guess you don't realise that post-it notes are in various sizes, not to mention they do show the original evidence. It's only stored for recall. You do know that this is a common phenomenon. This is just awful for you to do. So someone not liking my work, which is fair enough. And I've said, thanks for your thoughts. I will be returning to look at this story and will indeed mention that the post-its come in different size, which I think I did last week. Also, the article does not say digital evidence is just for recall. It claims they're in place of it, which it does. But I'll correct any mistakes. Anyway, Paul Burbeck says, what is the reason for you to put this out in public? I point out, not everyone believes that what is reported in the mainstream press. Actually, some, like myself, believe it's 95% made up and the other 5%'s massively misreported. Especially the stories that get over-the-top coverage, such as the Letby trial. They say, listen, I agree. I know of completely false stories put out in a local paper where I'm from. I can't divulge because I could be attacked, but you're correct. Oh, fair enough. He agreed with me then. I thought he was going to say something else. But over on Instagram, I know I've had someone else attack a comment I left on one of Deborah James's videos where Gabby Roslin comes out. And I was just going to read that, and then I'll probably... Yeah, I don't think I put Instagram in the description. I will tonight. I will put my Instagram channel in the description. If you use it, I'm not particularly active over there, as you'll see. I don't think I follow anyone. I just put some of my thumbnails up. Right, anyway, I had a notification. Someone took a dislike to one of my comments, unfortunately. Where was it? Okay. Right, I won't make... Where's my comment? There we go. Yeah, I said, yeah, as if this happens in real life. All stage money-making treatment in mainstream propaganda. It looks like Claire Poll removed her comment. View replies. Oh yeah, are you joking? I said, of course I'm not joking. Now, someone else has come out and said, only just read your comment. How nasty. You should know that Deborah was always singing and dancing. I'm sure it brought a smile to a lot of people. Absolutely disgusting. You should feel ashamed. That was 3 weeks ago. I'm going to reply that... Here we go. Doesn't the fact she was singing and dancing whilst dying raise any suspicions? Question mark. Oh, misspelt suspicions. Probably a C in there somewhere. Surely autocorrect could have don't shoot the messenger. It is sick. Right, I'll just leave it at that. I was going to say something along the lines of, oh, have you by any chance bought Deborah's t-shirt or bought a book or donated to her cause? Don't shoot the messenger. I'll just leave it at that. ... Okay. Right, yeah, that was, I'm not sure if there was anything else. Let's have a look how much... Let's have a look how much Prince Harry's book sells for. I didn't actually... We will have a quick look at that before... Oh, it's a time bomb for the royal family as content is damaging. Yeah, of course. I'm sure none of it calls out them as being a bunch of trannies, though, does it? Prince Harry asked his friends and ex-girlfriend to feature in his upcoming autobiography, Spare, even though he would hit the roof if they spoke to the media. Yeah, all I see when I look at that is what a flat forehead. What a ridiculously flat forehead. And didn't he used to have much bigger ears than that? And it'll be released on January the 10th. And what massive publicity it gets. In my opinion, clearly a fake beard. In fact, you can see around the eyes. Almost, I don't know what that is around the eyes, but to me it looks like fake skin. Just there. I mean, okay. Yeah, they probably would. He looks about 10 years younger than he does as well in any other images. That nose also looks quite strange. Yeah, that image is one for closer inspection. Yeah, just around here. I don't know how well you can see it. Let me just get the... Have we got ink? Yeah, just about there. Hang on, I've just got to let it count. 1 second. Hey, Tommy. Okay, I'll lose that image. Oh. Hang on. Computer's going to take forever now. Yeah, this is another sign that... Yeah, the only other thing that I would want to look closer at on this front cover is the nose. It kind of looks weird. Just the fact that there's all sorts of strange things going on the skin. Okay, can't really see it there, but There's just an area here that looks like, I don't know. Okay, yeah, something odd about that picture. Imagine calling yourself Spare. No way. Surely doesn't have much of an opinion of himself. Right. Yeah, I'm gonna take that whole image, I think. Yeah, my view on this book, he's not going to be telling anyone, you know, he's not going to come out and say Princess Diana looks like a man in drag, so who knows. And same goes for Camilla, for example. Yeah, imagine the bombshells he's going to release are, yeah, dad married a tranny, if it is his real dad. Who knows? Okay, we are going to start winding down as it is getting late now, and my voice is going to start failing me. And the cats are going to start getting very impatient if I don't. I do have a video to play out with, however. It's royal related. It's a bit out there. It's my suggestion that Jeffrey Epstein and Prince Andrew, they may have more in common than we're led to believe. I know that might be a bit much for some to swallow, but I certainly thought it was worth investigating. Before we do finish, Phil Wright, you're absolutely right, Joe Rogan. I do wonder if Phil's watching, is maybe watching a bit behind everyone else. May need to catch up, but never mind. KG says that lump is missing on the forehead. Phil says a scripted reality we live in. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Just like the arena fraud, released 22 people the day after. Yeah, they always seem to release everyone's names ridiculously quickly, like far too quickly in the case of Seoul, for you know, this crush that happened in Seoul, far too quickly for like everyone's families to be informed. They just instantly sell the image to Associated Press, and before you know it, they've released, you know, everything's been said. Okay, I would like to thank Phil Wright, KG, David, Mudlark, Craze, Sunstar Thunder Lightning, and everyone else for taking the time for tuning in tonight. Thanks ever so much. As always, I would like to support my I'd like to thank my Patreon supporter Linda Mack and everyone else for taking the time to watch. Let's see. Yeah, let me know, guys, if Gilded is your thing, because if anyone's familiar with Gilded, because I do have I might, you know, invite people to join if they want. It's like somewhere where you can continue the live chat afterwards. Where are we? Right. Okay. Yeah, thanks to Linda Mack. Support me over on Patreon. If anyone wants to do likewise or check me out over there, please scan the QR code, go to patreon.com/bzines, or yeah, just scan the QR code. Likewise, if you want to hit the thumbs up on this video, that is always appreciated. I see KG saying night. So yeah, thanks KG for tuning in tonight. Where are we? Hang on. Right, yeah, if you want to hit the thumbs up button, that's always a big help to this channel, because it might make it possible that someone that wouldn't see it otherwise might tune in. Subscribe and share it on social media is huge. Okay, I'm gonna say goodnight now, and I'm gonna leave you with my video from, let's see, This is Jeffrey Epstein and Prince Andrew, Media Fakery, from November 2019. Yeah, thanks everyone for taking the time to tune in. Have a great week, and if I'm not back before, I will see you next Sunday. Take care, one and all, and that's good night.